10, Luke Shenshaw. 15, Reece Carter. 17, Anthony Petrie. Number 20, Benny Anthony. 21.
If ever Wollongong needed to get behind the Hawks, this would be the time. A 4-game streak charging towards the playoffs. Unlikely just weeks ago, but Adelaide is a brick wall. Will they still be smiling tonight? Welcome to the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Steve Carfino, there's no doubt the Hawks are hot.
They are. They're the hottest team in the league right now. Nobody wants to come up against them, but the Adelaide 36ers still have their eye on the prize, trying to catch the Perth Wildcats, and these are exactly the type of games they have to win if they want to get a minor premiership.
If you look at the ladder, there are 5 games to go for each of these teams, and the Hawks have to keep the momentum going. Of course, Adelaide sitting in second spot. They've got an eye on number 1. That's also possibly a bridge too far, but still a key game for both clubs.
Sure is. They need some help from the Perth Wildcats, and Perth know how to close out a season. That's for sure. On the other hand, Wollongong are looking at the Sydney Kings. Now, not only are they close to them and in the top 4 position they got their eye on, they have the split on the Sydney Kings, and they are a team that matches up very well against them.
The Hawks humbled this team right here only 3 weeks ago, but they had Kevin Tiggs in the lineup then, and Rodney Clark didn't have the flu. He spent plenty of time in bed sweating up this week. As we look at the starting 5s, the role players are going to have to step up for the Wollongong Hawks.
They really are, and we'll look at their lineup right now, and we'll tell you about who needs to step up. Reece Martin and Rodney Clark, he's hot. They need to get him the basketball, get him started early, and try and get Adelaide in a hole. Very tough cover is Tim Conrad. They got Oscar Foreman, who shoots the basketball and has had a big rebounding responsibility, and he has to pull down some tonight if they're going to be effective, and Gruber's the center. For the Adelaide 36ers, this is a team with the best backcourt, in my opinion, in the competition, with Adam Gibson and Gary Irvin. and then the front court. They'll go with Brendan Teese. He doesn't score many points, but he gets their defensive flow started. And then you've got Anthony Petrie, one of the better four-men in the competition, and of course, Daniel Johnson, the toughest center to guard in the league. He is potent on the offensive end.
And when you look at Luke Schenscher, an accomplished championship-winning player coming off the bench, there he is. That is a big man rotation that probably is unmatched in the league.
Adelaide's depth is second to none. They come out there and they can put points on the board, and when they get their defense going, that's when they're a championship team.
But Gordy McLeod has pulled off some miracles right here before over the years. Steve, what's your tip?
Well, everybody underestimates Gordy McLeod and the Wollongong Hawks, but I think without Tiggs being healthy, they're going to struggle. I think it's going to be Adelaide.
Okay, but it's going to be one heck of a game. Hope you'll stay with us. After the break, we'll get into it. Wollongong fans are getting into it. It's a good crowd. They've been a bit disappointed with the crowds the last couple of times around, but I think the momentum is building, Steve, and they need some help here tonight.
4 straight, and they've got discount tickets. Brad Rosen's on the side with Gordy McLeod.
Gordy, thanks for joining us. 3 weeks ago, you won by 22 points in this venue on the back of some great shooting and intensity. How do you plan to replicate that tonight?
Well, we've got to do it with our defensive transition and rebounding. This is a great running team, very good at getting on the rim, either by posting their bigs or in the open floor. So that's critical for us tonight.
You've lost Kevin Tiggs and Rodney Clark's been ill this week. The bench will play a key role in tonight, and you will need them to step up. Has that been spoken about?
Well, that's the way it's been, all season for us. You've got to get contributions from the guys off the bench, and we've been doing a good job of that of late, and hopefully it'll still happen tonight.
Thanks, Gordy. Good luck. Back to you, Bill.
Here we go. Johnson and Oscar Foreman at the centre. Big game here. Foreman wins the tip, and Rodney Clark will control play. Reece Martin has the ball, and again Adelaide typically pressing from the get-go. Foreman, Martin inside. Tim Conrad's going to play a big role tonight. Turnover. Brendan Teese brings it back up, tries to poke it inside with a bounce pass, and they'll get the ball back.
Adam Gibson on that low post coverage of Tim Conrad, trying to take advantage of Conrad's size, and he's got Adam Gibson with an elbow in the grill. He's got that lip bleed. Let's see if he gets a blood rule.
Petrie. Foreman has the job on him. Gibson back to Petrie. The jumper off the glass. Good rebound from Johnson. First points to the 36ers.
And that's what Gordy McLeod would be concerned with, Adelaide's ability to pound the glass and get them extra possessions.
And look at this press from Adelaide, double teaming Rodney Clark from the outset. They're going to give him hell tonight. And of course, he has been on a hot streak in this Illawarra winning run. He's been the man who's, I won't say carried the team because everybody's played their role, but he's carried the scoring. Only 2 players in this Illawarra lineup with Tiggs out are in double figures for scoring for the season. Against 4 players in double figures for the 36ers. The Hawks on the board, Irvin with the ball.
Adelaide must contain dribble penetration. Wollongong does do a great job of keeping the floor spread.
Gibson tries. Gary Irvin to inbound.
This baseline out of bounds for Adelaide, they've gotten a lot of mileage out of it. Execute this better than anybody in the league.
Open shot for Daniel Johnson. Hits! That's the thing. These big guys from Adelaide can take shots anywhere. That makes them a massive threat. Foreman to Conrad. Conrad and Foreman. Nice 1-2 punch from the Hawks. And Conrad, as I said, is going to have to play a big job tonight with Tiggs benched at least until the second round of the playoffs, if they get that far. Gibson off the run around, misses, but again, offensive board's crucial for the 36ers tonight. This will be an important one, and they get it that time with the points. Clark, double teamed again. Foreman. Reece Martin just having a look, slowing it down. Off the screen, drives through on his own.
Again, dribble penetration by Wollongong. As I mentioned, do a great job of keeping the floor spread and exploiting matchups.
Petrie open, that's for 2. Well, the Hawks didn't clean up that rebound, even though they won it. Gruber did get a hand to it.
Bill, you can tell playoffs just around the corner. Look at the active hands on defense just on that last possession. The ball was tipped 3 or 4 times just on one possession.
Johnson works it back. Foul called on Tim Conrad.
In a physical game like this, it's important for the referees to establish that you cannot hold or grab on D. Set a precedence on how it's going to be called.
Again, an offensive rebound. Johnson this time off the Petrie attempt, and Petrie in there. And that there was plenty of Hawks body in there under the bucket, but they still couldn't out-rebound the 36ers. That's going to be a big story tonight. We'll see how it unfolds. Long way to go. Foreman, they work it around. Clark misses with the long bomb. Foreman gets the rebound. And now Gruber nicely out to William Martin. And here's the jumper. Big play from Conrad.
And that's keyed by an offensive rebound by Oscar Foreman. And that was their first rebound of the game.
Martin with the steal on the run. And they missed the play, but good backup from Reece Martin.
So on the last 2 possessions for Wollongong, 5 points off of 2 offensive rebounds.
Lob pass in, and Gibson cuts, was on his own. So pressing again the 36ers. Foreman back to Martin. Rodney Clark struggling to get into the game. There he is. Drives, pops it. Pulled down by Petrie, and they off to Gibson. Nice bounce pass. And Tease gets it off the glass.
Yeah, tough shot made to look easy. Excellent bounce pass from Adam Gibson. What Adelaide are doing is they are making Rodney Clark finish on tough shots, not allowing him to shoot from the 3-point line.
Well, you can only guess how Rodney's going to come up after spending some time with the flu this week. Obviously, Gordy McLeod would be cagey about just how much time he has been away from court. At this stage of the season, fitness probably won't be an issue in terms of missing game time, but how the actual flu has affected him is going to be a big deal. We'll find out soon enough. The Hawks are averaging 95.5 for and 77 against on this streak, and Clark is shooting nearly 28 points a game. So they've not only been winning, they've been winning well. Irvin swaps it with Tees. This is the three. Good rebound from Petrie, and Foreman cleans up, but the foul is called.
Interesting that Wollongong are putting more pressure on the perimeter shots, because the last time when they beat Adelaide in this building, they sucked it into the middle of the paint and allowed Adelaide to shoot pretty much any time they wanted, and that's why they were able to get more rebounds. But now that they're playing these perimeter shots, because Adelaide have proven over the last couple of games that they're knocking down shots, now the inside is opened up, and Adelaide are dominating on the offensive glass.
When they played here in that big win for the Hawks took 36 three-point shots. They made 15. The 36ers only took 19 three-point shots, and they made only 6 of those. And the rebounds are pretty much even in that game. So a lot of hard work for the Hawks under the basket and good shooting outside.
And it wasn't just three-point shots. I mean, they were going below screens, and the defender was well inside the key, daring Adelaide to shoot 17-footers.
So Clark and Foreman swapping the ball to try and get this offense going. Demos is on court now, checked in. Conrad just holds it up, goes for the three. Nice one. Now, Larry Davidson has also come off the bench. Quick response from the 36ers.
Mitch Creek just runs the floor as well as anybody in the competition. Got a little bit of a good roll on that finish.
Davidson drives into the double team, swivels his way around, can't get it to go. Gibson on the run. Irvin slows it down. Clark v. Irvin is a good one, but off the screen. Clean shot made by Johnson.
And that's one guy you do not want to get hot. He was backpedaling before that went through the basket. He is on a roll, and when he looks like that, you're looking at 30.
He is everywhere at the moment, Daniel Johnson. Massive work rate so far in this game.
He's getting to the glass. Also 3 of 4 from the field for his 7 points. Perfect, obviously, outside the three-point line. But when Daniel Johnson gets an early start like that, and you know he's active on the offensive glass as well, he's looking in for a big night.
Long rebounds and shoot a lot of jump shots. Make sure we rebound. And it's not always the big. They're going to be buried. Guards, be ready to chase them down.
Like you said, we're in drops. If you said it's called 5, I'm not going to be able to see going in there. Okay, I'm helping on Tyson as well, so I'm ready to help.
Right. We're running cross here. Cross, okay? Cross. This guy's coming back, though. I want you to wait for it. This guy's free. Come back to it. This guy's coming back. Okay? Yeah, screen come back. If you get it here, you don't want the high low or the rhythm goes. Go and hand off here quick.
36ers by 5. Plenty of depth on that bench. Shencher comes in. Jason Kadee is on court. Creek. Gibson stays on. Of course, with Johnson. Martin now back to Larry Davidson. Brad Rosen.
Thanks,
Wait a minute,
Billy.
Davidson for 3, misses. Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. I listened to the Gordy McLeod timeout. His exact words were, defense is atrocious, boxing out is terrible, and the offense is non-existent. Get back to the Wollongong basketball and get through our sets was his call. Back to you, Billy.
Gibson calling his players to him. Now Johnson. Open shot for Shencher. Didn't look like he wanted to take that.
Yes, team scattered. Nobody on the offensive glass.
Clark open. Hits! There you go. Wollongong. That's what they want to see. The Hawks creep a little closer. Johnson posting up, double team. Gibson fires it into Schencher. He's also in trouble. Steele. Reece Martin on the run. Goes himself. And the Hawks close this game up.
Turnovers are big. Good teams make you pay. Excellent read by Reece Martin on a hesitant Luke Schencher.
Well, if you think the Hawks have got a shallow bench tonight, they've got a couple of thousand on their bench. That'll help. Kadee wide open for three. Important rebound. Not much competition, but Davidson safe. Clark running off Gruber's screen. Loses it. Johnson holds it up, though. Jason Kadee on the run. Creek for two. There's a nice smack in the head there for Reece Martin from the big guy. Don't you take a rebound off me.
Well, it looks as if Gordy McLeod, when his team has a game plan, they stick to it. It looks as if there just are certain people. They are going to allow the wide open shot. They're daring Jason Kadee to shoot the three, daring Mitch Creek to shoot it, and you saw them sag off of Luke Schencher.
Big minutes required from guys like Tyson Demos. Clark for three again. There you go. Flew what flew? That's two bombs in a row from Rodney Clark, and suddenly the Hawks are back in charge. Adam Gibson, Schencher, Gruber with the assignment there. Not easy. Gibson back into Schencher, loses the handle. So, nice hustle from Dave Gruber and the entire Hawks defense. Timeout call. 22-19 to the Hawks.
Well, the difference is on that one, Rodney Clark, the last two times he touched the basketball, they did not run him off the three-point line. Jason Kadee went for a ball fake to the middle of the floor, created space for Rodney Clark, bang. It's a tough cover, but everybody before that had done a good job of making sure they crowded him at the three-point line, making him put it on the floor and make a play on the rim. Last two possessions, didn't do it.
Now, hey, they're yellow and the old balls with Roddy, they're yellow on the ball.
Great job. Take him back and then run at him.
Empty the corner out and go. First play here, go Iverson. Okay, so you got to go to the left side, so break the pressure, then go in Iverson. Could be zone, doesn't matter, run it anyway. Defense has been the difference in rebound. Hawks 1, 2, 3.
Well, Brad Rosen said Gordy wasn't too happy. He must be feeling a little bit better now. And that is a traditional Hawks hustle. That's what this team is famous for. Brad. Clark had to stretch to pull that one in. Martin slows it up. Demos circles. He's made 2 laps in the
No props.
key. Martin with the shot clock winding down, has to take the shot. He does. That'll do.
Brad Rosen, what do you got for us?
Well, there's a couple of things in Joey Wright's time out there. He was a little bit worried the fact that Rodney Clark has had 2 open threes, but he's not really worried about their defense so much. It's their offense. Exactly what happened there. He wants the ball to go into the middle, and he wants Petrie and Schencher to either up fake and pull through and go to the ring, or look to work from the inside out. Very interesting timeout, quite animated, and all the players had plenty to say. Back to you.
This is a great little run from the Hawks, Steve, and Clark's hit a couple of threes, but the defense has really shaken up the 36ers. Reece Carter's in. He's only had 3 games. And how he fits into this mix will be interesting. He's done some good things in the minutes he's had, but he's one of a number of guards in this Adelaide lineup, so it'll be interesting to see what role he plays. Clark looked like he was open. Again, double teamed, pokes it inside, but the Sixers knock it over the sideline.
Well, that's the shooting percentage on the bottom of the screen. The Hawks at 58%. They'll be happy with that, especially outside the three-point line, hitting 2 of every 3. But one of the reasons that Reece Martin has been picked on this team, I spoke to Joey Wright, because they've got a plethora of point guards is his defense, and you could see it when he was guarding Rodney Clark. He was on him, like Jim Carrey said, like a glove.
I'm so impressed with what you just said. It wasn't what you said, it was the fact that you said plethora.
You know, I've been doing a lot of reading since we worked on the basketball coverage last.
In 20 years, I would hope so. Demos pokes it inside. Nice work. Well, that's another role. Harris Tunks has to play a lot more of that post-up game because they're down a big man in this team. Urban backs it up. Shot clock coming inside, 10 seconds now, goes for the drive. Open look. Kadee misses, but safe rebound from Martin, and the Hawks bring it up.
Well, Gary Irvin's dribble penetration has gotten them a good look on those possessions. And Kadee will have to continue to take that. He can knock that down.
So we're under the control of the game clock now as we approach the end of this quarter. Brendan Teese checks in for Gary Irvin, and Demos will inbound for the Hawks. Martin. Hits for three. Safe rebound from Petrie. Oh! The Hail Mary almost went in, but still, the Hawks would have to be happy with that great run to finish the quarter. They're up by 5 here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Back in the Wynn Entertainment Centre, Hawks fans are happy. They really fought back in that first quarter. Took a grip on this game. Brad Rosen.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Look, Gordy McLeod was very happy with the second half of that first quarter. He was not happy in the first, as we said. This time he's really starting to draw up and tear the Adelaide defense apart. You will notice what they'll try and do is they'll put the ball on the right-hand side of the court and they will drag their big up a little bit, and the guy that gets the ball on the right-hand side will take his man all the way to the basket and look for Tim Conrad to post up Adam Gibson as well. They think that's a weakness they can destroy.
Reece Carter hit a 3 while Brad was talking there, and that's his game average since he's taken up his tenure with the 36ers. This man has got to do a lot of work like that tonight. Gruber wanted a call from the ref there, but didn't get it, nor did he get the points. Carter on the run. Petrie, back to Carter. Fires an open look for Daniel Johnson. He can make those all day long.
That's what seems to be open. The big man flashing to the free throw line. Luke Schencher's been there a couple of times, but they better play it differently when Daniel Johnson gets there.
And that brings the 36ers back to level terms as they again try and stifle the playmakers on the Hawks. Off the screen, Martin. Nowhere to go, inside, 4 seconds, but he hits the two-pointer. He didn't have a lot of time to think about it. That's a couple of times now on offense that Martin's really had to take the reins. Wasn't many options, but he's made them both times. Irvin for 2. And off the rebound from the Hawk, Petrie cleans up. Martin runs, nice mid-court screen from Gruber, that's what they want. Conrad was just about to set himself with the shot, but the refs have called a foul. Joey Wright.
Well, Joey wouldn't be happy with the fact you got to communicate those screens. Those are the toughest ones to get to as a big man to show in the open court when they're running back and the defense isn't set. Conrad,
10 seconds on the shot clock. Gruber. Tough play inside, muscles his way for 2. Hawks back in the lead. Gibson. Nice play, 1-2 with Petrie, but good block for the Hawks. Martin looking for something quick. Rodney Clark, though, was covered by Irvin on the other side of the court. Martin baseline, gets it out. Clean shot for Tim Conrad. Good rebound from Gruber, but no. Irvin on the break. All the way. Yes! Irvin for 2. Coast to coast.
His ability in the open court is just mind-blowing. Not only with the quickness and the ability to handle a ball, but his strength as well.
I wonder if it's in the back of Gary Irvin's mind that since he left, big play for 3. Hawks hit the lead. Irvin hasn't won on this court for the 36ers against Illawarra. They've beaten them in Adelaide, but not here. Again, from outside, Gibson responds. Carter putting some pressure on Martin. Martin's carrying the ball a lot tonight, Steve. Trying to take some pressure off Clark.
Yeah. Well, let's hear what Brad Rosen has to say.
Thanks, Steve, and thanks, Bill. Well, I've got arguably Wollongong's greatest ever player here in Glenn Saville. First year out of the comp. How you feeling?
I'm a little bit nervous tonight. The boys have won 4 in a row, and coming up against a team like Adelaide with a very up-tempo style of play, it's an exciting game. I get quite nervous coming to the games, believe it or not.
Does that mean there's a comeback for Glenn Saville?
Certainly not. I've been retired for over a year now, so the frames wouldn't hold up, I don't think. But in saying that, I am excited. I'm excited to see Billy Woods back commentating. What a legend.
It is. He's back. It's great to be involved with him as well. What is Glenn Saville doing now?
My job description would be man of leisure. I would also say part-time home dad. My wife has everything dialed in regards to bringing home the bread. So spend a lot of time with some young kids and plenty of time in the water. Living in Wollongong, I surf a lot. Want to be surfer.
So how do I find one of those? That just looks fantastic.
It's a pretty good gig. I've been very lucky to spend 19 seasons playing basketball, and to live the lifestyle that I live now is it's pretty spectacular, and hopefully my wife allows me to continue it for many more years.
Good on you, Sav. Great man, great player. Back to you guys.
What a hero.
No kidding. Boy, his wife supports him. He's a part-time dad.
Well played.
His wife brings home the money.
That's great. Should be more of it. 33 points all here on court. Rodney Clark having all kinds of trouble here. Tease was all over him. Foreman now. Tyson Demos. Larry Davison's in the paint. Foreman. Demos. Goes it himself and hits.
Tyson Demos, I'm sure he has picked up a few tips from Rodney Clark about his work ethic shooting the basketball. Great
averages
pass.
inside. Adelaide hits back, 36 all. Shot for shot here in the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Clark. Davison, open look for Demos, fires it back. Conrad's under heavy defensive pressure and wants to get a call. The ref's not listening.
Well, Adam Gibson is no joke defensively. He's having a little chuckle with Tim Conrad now.
Little slap on the backside, come on.
Oh, he's about 6'3", 100 kilos, and none of that is kilos that are out of shape.
Demos now. Clark, he's having trouble getting open, Clark. When he does, he hits. Reese Carter open for three. Well, Johnson got the rebound. Looks like he got the foul as well. PJ Anthony on court there has checked in. They've got some big guys coming off the bench. Adelaide, Joey Wright, still not getting the kind of dominance that he wants.
I made a comment earlier that Reese Martin has been brought for his defense, and he's very good defensively, but he is not shy either. He's getting some shots up.
Johnson. Oh, Gruber struggled to get a handle on that ball. PJ Anthony was just a little too enthusiastic.
Good matchup between Gruber and Anthony, both workhorses down there. Once they get that big backside on you, it's hard to get around them. And Gruber with a good position on the box out.
Every time Rodney Clark gets the ball, it's like bees to a honey pot. Reese Martin. Clark, he's wanting options here. Goes himself, kicks it out to Martin. So Adelaide certainly have cranked it up on defense here. Carter on the break. Dishes. And Johnson again with that shot at the top of the key. It's like taking a free throw. 2 points for Adelaide. They're in the lead. So 38 plays 36 here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. In the last time these two teams met here at this court, Steve, Illawarra had a massive grip on the game by half-time, and they kind of held that for the last two quarters. Very different outlook on this game. How do you find the two coaches' strategies matching up?
Well, I think they're two very good coaches, and they have great game plans coming in. Wollongong aren't sagging on the defensive end as much, not packing it in like they did the last time these two teams met. And I think that's great by Gordy McLeod because his game plan isn't well, it worked the last time they played. Adelaide's a different team right now. They're a little bit more desperate, and I think Adelaide have come out with a little bit more desperation if they have a shot at catching the Perth Wildcats who play against the Sydney Kings on Sunday.
Reese Martin leads the Hawks scorers with 10. Rodney Clark has 9, but good contributions from Conrad, Gruber. Demos has 3. And the ball. Clark. Martin. Cuts inside. Nice little screen, just used Conrad's body. Still had to get past 2 more Adelaide defenders. Gibson. Game tied. Still calls Reese Carter along the baseline and then gives it to him, but intercepted. Reese Martin saw that coming. I think Adam, who's a very experienced player, probably telegraphed that one a little too much. Clark under pressure from Gibson. Conrad. 3!
And that's why it's hard to guard Rodney Clark. They switched on that one. Adam Gibson was trying to get back to Rodney Clark and switch back, but Conrad just lethal outside the three-point line too.
This is for 3. Rebound from BJ Anthony, in trouble, puts it back out, second chance. This one closer, but not good enough. Anthony with a tough basket. No. They get the call though.
See, this is a good call because he goes to the line shooting 2. This is a controlled tip. Johnson was trying to guide that tip home, and his arm was hit severely, so he gets a shooting foul. And Adelaide, their ability to go to the offensive glass has kept them in the game. And as I mentioned, Reese Carter, not shy at all. He's got some up. He's taken 5 shots already, all of them outside the three-point line.
Well, the Hawks have a 3-point lead. On the rebound count, it's 22-11 to the 36ers. So we know where they're getting the job done, but Wollongong is still in the game. I just flashed back 20 years.
Well, they had the throwback jerseys, and those had Illawarra on them.
Critically,
different colors too.
Critically, in this game we refer back to only 3 weeks ago, the Hawks matched the 36ers on the boards, and that was a big part of the game. They're going to have to work hard. We saw Tim Conrad make an outside shot a little while ago. He's going to have to get inside too and get those rebounds.
Well, Wollongong were playing that very small lineup with Tyson Demos, Reese Martin, and Rodney Clark in the game, with just the 2 bigs of Larry Davison and Oscar Foreman. Foreman at that 4 position. But what that allows them to do is have 2 guys that are very good off of the on-ball screen on each wing. So that allows them to have good floor spacing, and they can make plays. They draw double teams, and that's how they get wide open shots.
Brad Rosen.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Listen to Gordy McLeod then. He's very happy with the way offensively. He feels they can score at will. He really spoke about their defense and the way they're playing their zone. He wants their bigs to really be monsters down there, and then he pleaded with the whole 5. Box out, box out, box out was his words. And he told Tyson Demos, you're athletic, I want you on the rim. Get those rebounds.
There you go. They're going to share the load. Foreman now to Reese Martin.
That's a big ask. They're undersized. As simple as that.
Clark back to Larry Davison. Demos. Clark, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Thought about it. Caught with a double dribble. And that's just defensive pressure. You don't see a ball handler like Rodney Clark do that too often.
Well, I mean, if he's allowed to do that, you know, hesitate like that and put his hand underneath the ball, I think he could score on anybody.
Nice little bounce pass from Irvin, but Johnson couldn't quite control it. Now they've called the charge. Tyson Demos having plenty to say. Well, his feet were set and he put his body on the line.
He just reads that Mitch Creek didn't want to shoot the basketball, and he read which way he wanted to go. Good D.
Hard call to get sometimes. Clark for 3. Irvin. Johnson playing outside. Nice little cut from Tees. Johnson drives. Little, almost a fadeaway jumper there from Johnson. Reese Martin. Oscar Foreman. Clark. They're working the perimeter, the Hawks. Martin goes inside. Demos for 3. Irvin on the break. Plenty of Hawks back there. And he gets the foul, but not the 2 points.
Well, Gary Irvin in the open court. Oh, he is just tough to guard, as I mentioned, with that combination of speed, ball handling ability. On the other end of the floor, good dribble penetration by Reese Martin. Now, Tyson Demos caught that flat-footed. As wide open as he was, as a shooter, you got to anticipate that you're going to be that open and step into your shot. It was like he caught that. He had no idea that he was going to be open.
Gary Urban getting plenty of help here in Adelaide, but he's still a big contributor. I mean, for a man who was MVP not that long ago, when he played for the Hawks, in fact, in 2011. 16 points a game, 3 rebounds, almost 5 assists and a steal. That's busy. Martin. Oh, and there he is, Urban, almost with another steal. Takes it over the sideline.
I love that matchup with Gary Urban and Rodney Clark. Of course, they played college ball at the same place at Arkansas. And Rodney Clark came in after Gary Urban. Had some good numbers. That was before Rodney Clark went to Butler.
Oh, Demos with a little lob, but it was read well.
Rebounds, look at that big difference, 36 to 24-13.
Well, that's pressure that's building, and when you're living on the outside, that's a tough life, and that's what the Hawks are doing at the moment. They're living on the outside of that perimeter, and to do that and get on top after 4 quarters is a big call. They've done it before, but can they take that game all the way into the playoffs? That's the big question. 41 all at the moment, though. They're still doing it. They're in there. Just over a minute left in the second quarter.
I was talking to, as we have a look at Joey Wright.
And move one-on-one with form and bring it up, okay?
Joey barking some instructions. I was chatting to Dominique Cooks, who's the son of one of the players. He's injured right now. The son of Eric Cooks, the assistant coach. And he was talking about Rodney Clark on 9 points right now with 2 assists. And he said in his deal before he came to Wollongong, he had to have a key to the snake pit, the old place where the Wollongong Hawks play. He has his own personal key. No player has ever had that in the history of the Wollongong Hawks, but that was in his deal. He had to have a key to the gym. Also, he has a key to another gym, I believe a Smithfield High School, something. I could be wrong on that one, but it's another high school that he has the key to. Other players on the team didn't even know that there was a gym at that school. They've lived their whole life in Wollongong. He gets 1,000 shots up on a regular basis. He will train with the team. He's the first one there, last one to leave, and he gets 1,000 extra shots up, more than any player that any of these teammates have ever seen. And you wonder why he is such a threat outside the three-point line. His father's a shooting coach.
Well, there's an old saying about that, but I'll get to it in a minute because we're going to get very close here to shot clock time, and there's a great drive from Reese Martin, and one.
That is why Wollongong can spread any defense out. They've got Rodney Clark on one side, on the wing, and Reese Martin, who is very good coming off on-ball screens just like that. And he is north and south. He is not east and west.
And that old saying about practice is that when you decide not to practice, someone else somewhere is practicing, and when you meet him, he will beat you. Irvin gets it to Jason Kadee. Back to Irvin, baseline for 2. And that's going nowhere. So the Hawks are happy with that. Turnover time, 3-point lead.
Well, Gordy McLeod is going deep into his bench. The guy doesn't have a name on the back of his jersey is Jordan Berry.
Well, Martin almost lost it over the baseline. He does now. Irvin fires it through to Mitch Creek, who drives and can't make the layup. Big struggle for the boards. Foreman tips it to Martin. Oh, behind the back. That'll do.
Reese Martin sold that beautifully to commit Mitch Creek on the block shot. Get an easy layup for his teammate.
Kadee off the screen from B.J. Anthony, who now has the ball, can't bank it. Good rebound, Larry Davidson holds it up. Has a look at the shot clock. The game clock's inside, so Rodney Clark now with the ball. What can he do? 10 seconds left in the half. He's slowing it right down. Will he take the shot? Who's open? He goes for the drive. That's tough. He banks it and almost a tip in, and Adelaide will not have time to respond. But the good news for the home team is that they are up by 5 at half-time. Not the margin they had when they met this team here last time around 3 weeks ago, but they are still battling on well, considering they are behind in the rebound count, 24-16. But even that stat has improved in Wollongong's behaviour. Brad Rosen.
We spoke about it in pre-game that with Tiggs out injured and Rodney Clark being sick, the role players had to step up. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. You can't ask much more. Great half. How you doing?
Oh, I'm struggling. 15 points, that's it. No, it's good. I'd just like to apologise to Kevin. He said I stole his move, but I didn't.
What do you need now to win this game in the second half? You're obviously 46-41. What now?
Points in the paint. That's what's killing it for us defensively. We've got to take that away, make them shoot threes.
Thanks. Have a great second half. Well, you're in for a great game here. Make sure you come back after the break, and you'll see a great second half.